Have you ever wondered if it's possible to maintain a fulfilling and passionate intimate life as we age? If you're over 50 and seeking to nurture a deep, healthy, and pleasurable connection with your partner, this video is for you. In this video, we'll dive into a topic that's often avoided in open conversations: oral sex, and how it can become an enriching experience, not just for physical pleasure but also for emotional connection. We'll explore the best ways to stimulate the vagina with the mouth, techniques that have been proven to enhance intimacy, build trust, and deepen your bond with your partner. You might be asking, why should I continue watching? Well, oral sex isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about rediscovering emotional intimacy at a stage of life when other aspects of your relationship may be changing. We'll also discuss how to create an environment of comfort and trust, communicate effectively with your partner, and use techniques based on sexological studies and years of expert experience. By the end of this video, you'll gain practical tips on improving intimate connection, approaching the body with greater understanding, and exploring new ways to enhance pleasure in your relationship. Whether you're looking to reconnect emotionally, or just make your physical experience more enjoyable, this video will provide the tools and insights to help you achieve that. So stick around till the end. You won't want to miss these expert-backed techniques that can truly transform your intimacy. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. It's important to approach the subject of intimacy with care and respect, as it involves deeply personal and varied experiences. Oral sex, when consensual and appreciated by both partners, can be a powerful tool for strengthening the emotional and physical connection between them. This form of intimacy allows couples to communicate through actions, building trust and a sense of security. Over time, as people age, physical changes may make traditional intercourse more challenging or less satisfying. Oral sex can offer a fulfilling alternative, providing a different kind of stimulation and intimacy that may be more aligned with the evolving needs of the relationship. Psychologically, engaging in such intimate acts can foster emotional closeness. It is often said that intimacy is not only about the physical connection but also the emotional understanding and the willingness to be vulnerable with one another. Through oral sex, couples are not just sharing physical pleasure but are also engaging in an act of trust and affection. It can help maintain a sense of excitement and passion in relationships that may be transitioning into different life stages. Emotional harmony, open communication, and mutual respect during these experiences are essential, and they are what help deepen the bond, making it a shared experience that reflects love and care. As individuals mature, they often desire a deeper connection with their partner, one that goes beyond the physical. Oral sex can be a way to explore and express this deeper emotional connection, as it often requires a heightened level of communication and understanding. This can contribute to the continued growth of the relationship, allowing couples to maintain their sense of closeness and intimacy even when other aspects of their physical relationship might change with age. In this way, oral sex can enhance the overall emotional fulfillment of a relationship, making it more meaningful and sustainable over time. When approaching intimacy, especially in the context of oral sex, it's important to understand that sexual pleasure is highly subjective. Each individual has unique preferences, sensitivities, and desires. What may be pleasurable for one person may not be the same for another. So the key to a fulfilling and rewarding experience lies in communication and attentiveness to each other's needs. Listening to and observing your partner's body language, as well as being open to feedback, are essential components of a positive sexual experience. One critical aspect that is often overlooked in discussions about sexual pleasure is the importance of emotional connection. Research from the fields of sexology and psychology consistently emphasizes that sexual pleasure is not merely about physical stimulation, but also about the emotional context in which the encounter occurs. For women, particularly, the emotional climate plays a crucial role in enhancing sexual satisfaction. Emotional intimacy and a sense of safety can significantly amplify the pleasure derived from any intimate act, including oral sex. Before engaging in any form of sexual activity, it is vital to set the stage for intimacy. This includes cultivating an atmosphere of trust, comfort, and affection. Small gestures such as caresses, gentle touches, eye contact, and verbal affirmations create a foundation of emotional security that allows both partners to feel relaxed and open. These actions, which may seem simple, are incredibly effective in reducing tension and making intimacy feel more natural and enjoyable. When a woman feels emotionally connected to her partner, she is more likely to feel comfortable, safe, and open to sexual exploration. Psychological studies suggest that sexual pleasure for women is often intertwined with the emotional experience of intimacy. The mind plays a significant role in how the body responds to stimulation. When there is emotional trust and a sense of desire, physical pleasure becomes more intense and satisfying. Oral sex, in particular, can be more pleasurable when the woman feels seen, valued, and appreciated, not just as a physical object but as an emotional partner. In addition to emotional connection, paying attention to the woman's responses, both verbal and nonverbal, helps guide the experience. Everyone has different preferences, so being responsive to your partner's feedback is essential. This could mean adjusting your approach based on how she responds, or taking the time to explore what feels best for her. When both partners are attuned to each other's needs, the experience becomes more fulfilling, building a stronger emotional and physical connection. In conclusion, creating an emotionally intimate environment before engaging in oral sex, along with being attentive to each other's desires and needs, can significantly improve the sexual experience. The act of giving and receiving pleasure in such a manner becomes not only an expression of physical desire but also of mutual affection and trust. By combining emotional warmth with attentiveness to each other's cues, partners can enhance their bond, making intimacy a more rewarding and meaningful experience for both. When exploring female anatomy, it's crucial to approach the process with gentleness, patience, and sensitivity. The female body is rich in erogenous zones, each contributing to sexual pleasure in unique ways. Oral sex, when performed with care and attentiveness, can offer a deeply pleasurable experience for both partners. It is important to remember that the clitoris, though the primary source of pleasure due to its vast network of nerve endings, should not be the sole focus of attention. Instead, the entire area of the vulva, including the labia majora and minora, should be gently explored and stimulated to build arousal progressively and sensually. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The labia, both the larger outer folds, labia majora, and the smaller inner folds, labia minora, are highly sensitive and play an important role in the overall sexual experience. When beginning oral sex, it's essential to take time to softly run the tongue or lips over the outer and inner labia, exploring them gently. This step serves not only to arouse the woman but also to prepare her body for further stimulation. Light kisses, soft flicks of the tongue, or gentle caresses with the lips can help create a sense of intimacy, making the experience more enjoyable. These initial steps should not feel overwhelming or rushed. Rather, they are about setting the mood and increasing sensitivity. The clitoris, due to its high concentration of nerve endings, is often the focal point of pleasure during oral sex. However, because it can be extremely sensitive, direct and intense stimulation at first can be overwhelming or even painful for some women. It is essential to start gently, taking care to gauge your partner's comfort level. Slow, light strokes with the tongue, starting from the outer areas near the clitoral hood and moving closer to the clitoral tip, are often the most effective. As you observe your partner's physical and verbal cues, you can gradually increase the intensity, pressure, and speed of your movements. This gradual approach ensures that the experience remains pleasurable and comfortable, without rushing the buildup of arousal. An important element to consider during oral stimulation is the variation of rhythm and pressure. Consistency can be pleasurable, but it is also crucial to mix things up to maintain excitement and prevent the body from becoming desensitized. The body can quickly adapt to a specific type of touch or movement, so varying your technique is key to keeping the pleasure at its peak. For example, you can alternate between gentle, slow movements and faster, firmer ones, testing out different patterns to see what brings the most pleasure to your partner. The use of different rhythms, whether slow, sensual licks or quicker, more intense movements, can create a building sensation of arousal that keeps the experience exciting. The pressure applied during oral sex also plays a significant role in enhancing pleasure. Some women may prefer soft, light touches, while others may enjoy firmer pressure. As a general rule, it is best to start with lighter pressure, then gradually increase it as you sense your partner's response. Varying the firmness of your tongue movements can lead to a more stimulating experience. Alternating between soft, gentle movements and firmer, more deliberate strokes can create a dynamic experience that heightens arousal. Listening to your partner's body and noticing their physical reactions, such as changes in breathing, body tension, or sounds, can provide invaluable feedback on how to adjust pressure, rhythm, and pace to maintain or increase pleasure. Some studies in sexual health suggest that alternating the direction of tongue movements between circular and vertical strokes can be particularly effective on the clitoris. Circular movements tend to provide broader stimulation across the clitoral area, while vertical movements focus more directly on the sensitive tip. Switching between these two patterns helps to prevent overstimulation and keeps the sensations fresh, allowing the woman to maintain her arousal without reaching a plateau too quickly. Finding a rhythm that combines both can lead to a gradual buildup of pleasure, making the experience more intense and fulfilling. Beyond the physical techniques, one of the most important aspects of oral sex is the emotional and mental connection shared between partners. As with any form of intimacy, the act is about more than just the physical stimulation. The woman's ability to relax and fully enjoy the experience depends on how emotionally safe and valued she feels. Creating an atmosphere of trust, affection, and mutual care can significantly amplify the pleasure derived from oral sex. Positive feedback, verbal affirmations, and reassuring touches can help deepen the connection, making the experience not just about physical pleasure but about emotional intimacy as well. In conclusion, the key to enhancing the experience of oral sex lies in the balance of gentleness, attentiveness, and variation. Exploring the entire female anatomy with care and being mindful of the different types of stimulation can provide an experience that is not only pleasurable but also emotionally fulfilling. By starting slowly, observing your partner's responses, and adjusting your movements and pressure based on their reactions, you can create a rewarding and meaningful intimate experience that strengthens the bond between you and your partner. Always remember that communication and patience are the foundations of intimacy, ensuring that both partners feel respected and valued throughout the experience. When engaging in oral sex, it's important to recognize that the experience goes beyond just the use of the tongue. The entire mouth, lips, tongue, teeth, and even breath can be employed to create a variety of sensations that heighten pleasure. By incorporating different elements, you can intensify the stimulation, create a richer experience, and keep the pleasure diverse and exciting for your partner. One effective way to add dimension to the experience is through the use of breath. Breathing gently on wet, sensitive skin can produce a unique thermal sensation that can feel incredibly stimulating. This delicate contrast between warmth and coolness enhances the overall experience, providing a tactile stimulus that can send waves of pleasure through the body. For example, after using your tongue to stimulate the clitoris or labia, you can pause for a moment and blow gently on the area, feeling the contrast between the heat of your breath and the coolness of the skin. This subtle but effective technique creates a varied and dynamic form of stimulation that keeps things fresh and exciting. In addition to breath, the full use of the mouth can significantly enhance the pleasure of oral sex. While the tongue is often the primary tool for stimulation, using the lips and mouth to create gentle suction can add another layer of sensation. Delicately sucking on the clitoris or other sensitive areas with a soft, rhythmic motion can increase blood flow to the area, intensifying the feeling of arousal. The pressure of the lips and the sensation of suction provide a deeper, more enveloping type of stimulation. The variation in pressure, combined with the motion of the tongue and breath, allows for a range of sensations that can keep the pleasure evolving. Using the whole mouth also enables you to shift between different types of stimulation. You can move from gentle sucking to licking or kissing, alternating between soft and firm pressure, which helps prevent monotony. For example, you might use your lips to gently kiss or nibble around the clitoral area, then switch to the tongue to explore the clitoris itself. By combining these elements, tongue, lips, breath, and suction, you can create a stimulating rhythm that is both satisfying and intriguing. This variety in sensations is often key to keeping your partner engaged and increasing the overall intensity of the experience. While variety and experimentation are crucial for a pleasurable experience, the importance of consistency cannot be overlooked. Once you've found a rhythm or technique that your partner enjoys, maintaining that technique for a sustained period is essential for building towards CA climax. Many women report that the most pleasurable part of oral sex comes when a steady, consistent technique is maintained, allowing the body to reach a state of heightened arousal and eventually orgasm. This type of focused, constant stimulation allows the sensations to build gradually and creates a deep sense of satisfaction as the pleasure intensifies. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For example, if you find that your partner enjoys a certain type of rhythmic clitoral stimulation, whether it's soft, slow licking, or firmer, circular movements, continuing with that technique for several minutes can help her body adapt to the rhythm and build arousal over time. Patience is key here. Rather than constantly changing things up, allowing her body to adjust to a steady pace can be the most effective way to bring her closer to climax. It's important to stay attuned to her body, watching for signs of increased tension, changes in breathing, or other nonverbal cues that indicate she is getting closer to orgasm. By maintaining a steady, pleasurable rhythm and adjusting only when necessary, you can help her reach the peak of pleasure at her own pace. Studies in sexology highlight the importance of consistency in clitoral stimulation, suggesting that once a woman reaches a rhythm or pressure that works for her, continuing with that pattern for an extended period can be key to achieving orgasm. This is why being patient and observant is so important. It's not just about providing pleasure, but about recognizing the subtle cues that indicate when she's ready to be taken to the next level of arousal. In this way, oral sex becomes a deeply intimate act that requires both physical and emotional awareness. In summary, the use of the full mouth, tongue, lips, and breath can greatly enhance the experience of oral sex by adding variety and depth to the stimulation. Shifting between gentle suction, light licking, and soft breath can keep the pleasure dynamic and exciting. At the same time, once you've found a rhythm or technique that your partner enjoys, maintaining it consistently is key to helping her reach orgasm. The combination of variety and consistency ensures that the experience remains both pleasurable and fulfilling. Patience, attentiveness, and an open mind are essential in creating an intimate and satisfying sexual experience for both partners. While the clitoris is undeniably a central source of pleasure for many women, it is important to remember that the female body is full of other erogenous zones that can contribute to a more well-rounded, fulfilling sexual experience. The vaginal lips, perineal area, inner thighs, and even the lower back are areas that, when stimulated with the mouth and tongue, can enhance arousal and pleasure. By exploring these zones, you provide your partner with a variety of sensations that can heighten her overall experience, without the risk of overstimulating any one area. This approach not only prevents potential discomfort, but also ensures that the pleasure is more prolonged and multifaceted. The vaginal lips, for example, can be highly sensitive and responsive to touch. Gently licking, kissing, or caressing the outer lips with the lips and tongue can create a deeply sensual experience. The perineal area, located between the vaginal opening and the anus, is another highly sensitive region that can benefit from light stimulation. Using the tongue to softly explore this area can add a pleasurable, subtle element to the experience. The inner thighs, too, are often overlooked but are highly erogenous for many women. Light kisses or soft strokes with the tongue across the thighs can build anticipation, making the rest of the experience feel more intense. Alternating between these areas and the clitoris ensures that your partner feels fully attended to and cared for, offering a variety of sensations that keep the experience exciting and dynamic. Switching between different erogenous zones also helps create a rhythmic balance that prevents any one area from becoming overly stimulated, which can sometimes lead to discomfort. For instance, after focusing on the clitoris for a period, you might shift to the vaginal lips or inner thighs, giving the clitoral area a brief break before returning to it. This not only prolongs pleasure but also helps keep the experience fresh and engaging. By diversifying the points of stimulation, you create a more complex sensory experience that can lead to more profound and lasting pleasure for your partner. From an emotional perspective, oral sex can be an act of deep vulnerability and intimacy. For both the giver and the receiver, this type of sexual encounter often involves a level of surrender. Whether it's the act of trusting your partner to care for you or the act of giving your partner that care. Oral sex can be especially meaningful in long-term relationships, where emotional bonds are stronger and deeper. For many couples, it is a way to reaffirm connection, trust, and affection, as it requires both partners to be fully present and attuned to each other's needs. This mutual attentiveness can foster a sense of closeness and intimacy that is not just about the physical sensations, but also about the emotional investment in each other's pleasure. In older couples, where emotional intimacy often plays a more prominent role, oral sex can serve as a way to reconnect and rediscover each other. As physical changes may occur with age, couples might find that intimacy shifts, but oral sex offers a way to maintain and enhance the emotional connection. It is a moment where both partners can focus entirely on each other's pleasure, demonstrating care and love in a way that words alone cannot express. This act of giving and receiving pleasure can become a ritual of reaffirming affection, reminding both individuals of their emotional bond and shared history. Furthermore, oral sex highlights the importance of how we feel about ourselves and our partners. Sexual pleasure, after all, is not only a physical experience but also a reflection of emotional connection and self-esteem. When both partners are attuned to each other's needs and desires, sexual encounters become a powerful tool for reinforcing the relationship. This emotional dimension of sexual intimacy ensures that it remains meaningful, contributing to a deeper sense of closeness and satisfaction in the relationship. In conclusion, while the clitoris may be the focal point of many women's sexual pleasure, it is important not to overlook the other erogenous zones that can enhance the experience. By incorporating a variety of touches, breaths, and techniques, you can create a more complete and dynamic sexual encounter. From an emotional perspective, oral sex can be a powerful way to reaffirm the bond between partners, especially in long-term relationships. It is an act of vulnerability, trust, and emotional connection that goes beyond the physical, deepening intimacy and strengthening the relationship. Ultimately, sexual pleasure is about more than just physical sensation. It reflects the emotional and psychological connection between partners, making it a truly intimate and meaningful experience. The research conducted by Masters and Johnson, who are considered pioneers in human sexuality studies, highlighted a crucial insight. Sexual satisfaction is deeply connected to the overall quality of the relationship. Their studies revealed that when there is genuine love, mutual respect, and a strong emotional understanding between partners, sexual pleasure becomes significantly more fulfilling and enriching. This is particularly true in long-term, mature relationships, where the emotional connection is often more profound. In such relationships, sexual intimacy, particularly oral sex, can serve as a means to rediscover not only physical pleasure but also to strengthen the emotional and even spiritual bond between partners. In mature couples, oral sex can become a sacred form of connection, a way to reconnect on a level that transcends physical desire and reaches deeper into the emotional and psychological aspects of the relationship. As the dynamics of a long-term partnership evolve, so too does the way partners communicate their affection and desire for each other. The act of oral sex, when performed with love and attention, can be a way to show appreciation and reaffirm the bond between the partners. It's not just about the physical act, but about sharing vulnerability, trust, and respect, which ultimately enhances both partner satisfaction and sense of intimacy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For women, receiving oral sex, specifically the act of oral stimulation of the vagina, can be deeply pleasurable and emotionally affirming, especially when it is done with intention and care. As women age and experience changes in their bodies, it can sometimes lead to a feeling of disconnection from their sexual identity. However, oral sex can be an act of reassurance that reinforces a woman's sense of being desired, attractive, and appreciated. This form of intimacy has the power to make a woman feel seen and loved, not just for her appearance, but for who she is as a partner. The emotional and physical pleasure of receiving oral sex allows her to experience a deeper connection to herself and her partner, helping her feel valued in a deeply satisfying way. When oral sex is performed in a way that prioritizes emotional connection, mutual care, and respectful communication, it can transform into a loving and intimate gesture that strengthens the relationship. The act itself becomes a vehicle for expressing care, trust, and admiration. It is a way of saying, "I want to give you pleasure because I care about you." A powerful sentiment that strengthens the emotional bond between partners. This sense of mutual understanding and shared affection is what makes oral sex in mature relationships particularly meaningful. It becomes less about the mechanics of the act and more about the underlying connection between two people who have grown together, both emotionally and physically, over the years. In mature relationships, oral sex can also help combat feelings of disconnection that might arise from the natural changes that come with aging, both in terms of physicality and intimacy. Sexuality often shifts as partners age, but these changes do not have to diminish sexual satisfaction. Instead, they offer an opportunity to explore new forms of intimacy and redefine what pleasure means within the context of the relationship. Oral sex, for instance, can become a way to explore and enjoy each other's bodies in a gentler, more nuanced way, emphasizing the emotional aspects of sexual connection. Moreover, oral sex can be a profound way for both partners to express their deep affection and care. For many women, receiving oral sex in a nurturing, loving manner allows them to feel truly cared for, not just in terms of physical pleasure, but in their emotional and psychological needs. This type of intimacy is not about rushing through the act or focusing solely on physical release, but about savoring the connection and allowing time for both partners to fully experience the pleasure and intimacy that comes with mutual respect. The emphasis here is on quality over quantity, focusing on the joy of giving and receiving pleasure at a pace that is comfortable for both people. For the giver, oral sex becomes a way to demonstrate emotional investment in the partner's pleasure. It's an act of selflessness, where the person providing stimulation takes the time to understand their partner's body and reactions. This process requires patience, attentiveness, and an understanding of the emotional and physical cues that signal pleasure or discomfort. It's about taking the time to make the experience more than just a physical interaction, and instead turning it into an emotionally rewarding experience that both partners can cherish. The act of oral sex, when done with respect and attentiveness, can become a form of communication that is more profound than words, a way of showing love and care through action. The significance of oral sex in mature couples is also rooted in its ability to serve as a reaffirmation of desire and attraction. Over the years, as couples navigate the ups and downs of life, it's easy for the spark of attraction to diminish slightly. However, oral sex offers an opportunity to reestablish and deepen that attraction, emphasizing the desire for each other despite the passage of time. It can be an act that reaffirms the physical and emotional bond that still exists, even if both partners have grown older. This form of intimacy allows couples to reconnect with a sense of excitement and passion that they experienced when they first met, but now with the added depth of emotional connection and mutual trust that comes with years of partnership. In a long-term relationship, where physical changes may lead to insecurities or concerns about intimacy, oral sex offers an opportunity to explore new ways of engaging with each other's bodies. It allows couples to focus on pleasure without the pressure to perform in traditional ways, giving them the space to explore what feels good in a more relaxed and intimate manner. This emphasis on pleasure over performance can be liberating for both partners, enabling them to enjoy intimacy without the stress of expectations. It creates an environment where the focus is on mutual satisfaction and emotional connection, rather than just achieving a physical outcome. Lastly, the act of oral sex in mature relationships can be a beautiful reminder that sexuality doesn't have an expiration date. It evolves, it grows, and it can become richer as partners age. Far from being a phase that fades with time, sexuality in mature couples can be a rewarding journey that continues to develop, with new experiences and deeper emotional bonds forming as the relationship matures. By embracing new forms of intimacy, such as oral sex, couples can discover new ways of enjoying each other and reinforcing the love and respect they share. In conclusion, oral sex in mature relationships is not just about the physical pleasure it provides, but also about emotional connection, mutual respect, and a deep sense of love and affection. It allows couples to rediscover intimacy that goes beyond the physical, strengthening both emotional and spiritual bonds. For women, this form of sexual intimacy can be particularly affirming, helping them feel desired and appreciated as they age. Through acts of care, patience, and communication, oral sex becomes more than just an act. It becomes a powerful expression of love, trust, and connection, ensuring that sexuality remains a vibrant and enriching part of the relationship throughout life. Thank you for watching this video and diving into the deep, meaningful conversation about the role of oral sex in mature relationships. We've explored how emotional connection, communication, and attentiveness can transform intimacy, ensuring that it remains fulfilling as couples grow older. From understanding the significance of mutual respect to embracing the emotional and physical benefits of this form of intimacy, it's clear that love and connection are at the heart of a rewarding sexual experience. So, what have you learned so far? Is there a new perspective you're excited to bring into your relationship? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below and share one thing you've learned from this video that you plan to practice in your life. And remember, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave your comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Your support means a lot to us. See you in the next video.